If you are trying to create a community where people feel like they belong and they're comfortable working out and they come in and they don't see anybody that looks and feels like them, they're very likely to either not even join or not keep coming back. And I believe strongly every brand should think about who is their member or customer base and make sure that their team reflects that.
Welcome everyone. I'm your host Chantal Broderick, and thank you for joining me for a special edition of the Fitness Business Podcast. You're listening to the MotionSoft Technology series with interviews featuring speakers from the 2018 MotionSoft Technology Summit. Today's special guest is the CEO of InShape Health Clubs, Francesca Schuler. InShape Health Clubs are a California-based chain of over 65 full-service health clubs. Prior to her role as CMO and then COO at InShape, Francesca held executive positions at BevMo, Treasury Wine Estates Americas, Method Products Incorporated, and The Gap. Now, given Francesca's broad range of experience, both within and outside the fitness industry, we covered a lot of topics during today's interview. Francesca started off by sharing an overview about InShape Health Clubs. We then went on to talk about their Workout and Win loyalty program. We discuss how InShape are using technology to enhance community for their members and for their teams. Francesca then talks to us about their Fight Cancer campaign, something that she is very passionate about and an initiative that has brought together their entire company. We discuss women in fitness and the importance of having the right people in your business. And we finish off today by discussing ways to stay up to date with technology in the fitness industry. I hope you enjoy this week's interview with Francesca Schuler. Francesca, a very warm welcome and thank you for joining me on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, we are sitting right here at the MotionSoft Technology Summit 2018, and I had the opportunity to see you on stage yesterday, and I wanted to jump on the opportunity to grab you and get you in for an interview. So thank you for coming and chatting to me today, and I thought that we might start things off by perhaps you could give us a bit of an overview about InShape Health Clubs.
Absolutely. So InShape is based in California. We have 67 clubs, primarily through the Central California, all the way from very northern Yuba City, all the way down to the south near LA. And our clubs are really community clubs. While the formats vary a little bit, we have pools, indoor and outdoor, kids zone, group fitness. So really designed to serve all ages and all fitness levels. That's really what our focus is, and create a great sense of community for them.
What size is the facility?
They range from, we have a couple small ones, but on average, they're from 35,000 to 70,000 square feet, so quite large.
And what type of services do you actually offer? So you mentioned the pool. Do you have like group fitness classes, personal training?
Absolutely. We have a whole range of group fitness classes. Some of our clubs have up to 3 studios in them. We have a very active personal training business, which is great. Huge opportunity for many of our members to get started through personal training. And then we have, relaxation amenities like spa, sauna, steam rooms, and many of our clubs have tennis and racket sports. So we'll have some clubs have basketball, racquetball, pickleball, which is a new hot trend right now.
Okay, stop right there. What is pickleball?
Pickleball, it's sort of like tennis meets ping pong. It's played on a smaller court with more of a paddle than a racket, but it's an emerging trend. We have a couple clubs that there's a fanatical pickleball group that plays there. And what's great about it is actually it's more and more of a request. So we've been able to convert some of our tennis courts to pickleball courts. So it's a fun game and people love it.
Oh, that is hilarious. I feel like I might need to Google a video so I can
think
see
you have to.
what pickleball is all about.
I had to.
Well, thank you so much for telling us a little bit about the club. So the reason that I specifically wanted to chat to you today is because one of the topics that was being discussed yesterday was rewarding loyalty within a club. And you mentioned that there was a very successful loyalty program that you run, which I believe is called Workout and Win. So can you tell us a little bit about that concept and the initiative?
Sure, absolutely. So I think for us at InShape, what we talk about a lot is we're not really in the health club business. We're in the people business and the motivation business, because we know the number one obstacle of people getting healthy is actually motivation. It's not hitting the snooze button in the morning. It's getting in your car and going to do something, or just opening your door and doing something. So We really focus on taking out pain points for people. So any barrier to working out or getting healthy. So many loyalty programs are so complicated. You have to collect points. You don't know what your balance is. What are your rewards? They expire. And all we really want to do is motivate people to kind of work out. So that's literally what it is. You show up and work out, you check in, we do all the rest. We keep track of your check-ins, and every month we have a prize for a certain amount of check-ins. And we send you a friendly reminder throughout the month. So, hey, you've got 3 more to go, you've got 4 more to go, you've got 5 more to go, this is what you'll get. And obviously we tie those in with motivational tips, suggestions on a group fitness class, healthy snacks, etc. And it's been incredibly successful because it's simple. And at the end of the day, the hard work should be when you're working out. It shouldn't be getting to work out or winning. And so just the name alone has been a big win because people understand it. The only other thing about it that's been great is we often give away t-shirts. They say Fit Club on it. And now that's become a little bit of a badge value. People are collecting the t-shirts, collecting the prizes. They recognize their friends throughout the club. Oh, you got that one. I have this one. I've won 10 months in a row. So it's created its own little community within the bigger community. But most of all, it's driven a significant increase in usage and retention. So that's really what we're after.
I find this really interesting because I think that a lot of owners and managers feel the need to reward with big gifts, and big prizes can be quite an expense. But you're talking about a t-shirt or what, a water bottle?
T-shirts, earbuds,
yep,
water bottle.
So quite low-cost items.
Very low-cost items, all related to working out usually. But yes, very low-cost items. It's amazing how I think it's just the notion of winning, but it's not too competitive. So if for 1 month you don't get it, you're not like, I'm out. I'm never going to do this again. If you happen to only check in 10 times and the prize is at 12, that's okay. You're back at it the next month. So I think that's part of it, is a little bit of competition, but not so much that it's intimidating.
So break down the logistics for me just in a little bit more detail, because it's a monthly reset. It resets each month.
Yes.
But each month, does the actual number of check-ins change?
We do vary it sometimes depending on the time of the year. So we know, for example, in December, the people are busy, family, holidays, vacations, just trying to get through, the end of the year. So we'll flex the number of check-ins to win depending on seasonality.
Right. And what how has it affected your retention? You said anecdotally, like, people love it and they love to get involved. Do you have any sort of figures that you can share with us on how it's actually affected the business?
We've seen a double-digit increase in usage in the program every year so far, and it's driven significant points of retention. And we're able to track that because we can see those that participate in the program versus those that don't. How long do they stay? How much do they engage? And the number one driver of retention is usage. If people use, they stay. If they don't use, they leave. It's really simple in our business. So you just need to get people to show up, and that works.
Yeah. And what about when it comes to actually marketing this promotion? So when you go to market with it, social media, I assume, how are you actually distributing the information to your members? And as the check-in amounts change, how do you notify them about that?
So every new member that joins gets a welcome guide, and so it's in the welcome guide. And then every new member also gets a welcome series, we call it. So depending on what interests they've shared during their initial visit, we tailor an email series for their first 90 days that talks about all different parts of the club, personal training, group fitness, etc. And we talk about the program in that. And then we literally just send you an email that says, hey, great job, your 3 check-ins, 4 more to go, or whatever the number is, and we stay in touch that way. So the key is getting everyone's email address. That's the most important thing, because that's the primary way we use to communicate it.
During the MOSO panel that we're here for at the moment yesterday, you actually mentioned that we should use tech to enhance community in club. So can you explain what you mean by that, and perhaps share any examples of that?
Well, I think for me, there's such a use of technology outside of the health club environment to connect people, and that's obviously primarily social media, though you have apps like Slack that connect people for project management as well. And we don't want to replace human interaction. We definitely view ourselves as the third place, so home, work, and coming to the health club should be your third place, and that's a place where you should physically interact with people. But either when you can't make it, or how do you tell your story? So we use it, technology, in a couple different ways. We also use it to connect our teams. One is we use social media a lot. We have a fitness challenge every month that both our teams and our members are encouraged to do. So this month it's deadlift. So we have a little calendar we post, and every day you do more. So by the end, you're doing a certain amount. We've done burpees, we've done jump roping, we've done jumping jacks. And it's a great way because everyone posts where they are. Day 10, I'm doing 10 deadlifts. So it connects our teams across clubs as well. We use internally, actually, one of the big shifts we made is we're big fans of Zoom, and we use a lot of video conference calls with our teams. There's no replacement for that, people to see each other, participate on the call. And then last but not least, we every week, every new team member sits through what we call the welcome presentation that a senior leader in the company gives live via Zoom. Basically, we go through the brand, what we're all about, what matters, our values. I do it, our head of marketing does it, our regional directors do it. And it's a very simple use of technology to create community, but it really creates community across the team. And if you're a brand new housekeeper that joins in a remote club, you may have no sense of how big InShape is. And then you get on and you're like, oh my God, look at all these people. And then often we'll have a general manager who's like, yeah, I started as a housekeeper and now I'm a general manager. So it helps open up career aspirations as well.
I love that use of technology, and it's amazing, as a matter of fact, because we're sitting here today, everyone, and we're in person, which is really rare for me, but most of the time I use Zoom to record all of our interviews, and it's quite extraordinary how you can utilize that technology to go across countries, time zones. It doesn't matter what it is, but it's a great way of connecting, so that's a great example. Francesca, one of the things that you mentioned in there was the team challenge, and before the interview we were actually just having a quick look at your Instagram page for one of the clubs, and you were telling me about the Give Back campaign, the Fight Cancer campaign, and I just was hoping that you might be able to tell all the listeners a little bit about that, because that's a company-wide campaign that you've embarked on, and I love that kind of sense of community that it's brought about, not only with your members but with your teams and with your clubs. So can you tell us a little bit about that initiative?
Absolutely. It's probably the thing we're all most proud of at InShape. It reflects the best of who we are. So every October, this is our 4th annual, we have a Fight Cancer campaign. It starts October 1st. It goes through the whole month. And the whole goal is to rally our team members, our members, and our communities around raising money to fight cancer. Cancer, sadly, impacts all of us in different ways. We have many team members and members who've gone through cancer themselves, unfortunately, have emerged in remission. And we use fitness as a big part of it. So we do walks. We have special classes where we take our best group fitness instructors, and you can come and pay $5 or $10, which goes straight to the Fight Cancer campaign, and have a special class. We're doing a big Les Mills Day. We're doing a big Zumba one. We're doing a dance-a-thon, a ride-a-thon. So we want to have it be about being healthy, but also raising money and awareness. You know, staying fit and eating well has definitely been proven to be something that can help you potentially not prevent, but reduce the chances of getting cancer. So it's we're really passionate about it, and I love the fact that we can say thank you really to our communities and our members, using our clubs as a way to hopefully make their future a little healthier and get rid of cancer. So if you check out our Instagram, everyone wears a Fight Cancer shirt. We have contests. If you take a picture and post and say InShape Fights Cancer, we donate $1. So it's really a special campaign that, to me, brings out the true values of the company in an amazing way.
Yeah, and I think what was really beautiful was seeing just how everyone had embraced that, you know, seeing those beautiful photos on Instagram. It just goes to show that everyone does care about the cause, and everyone wants to invest and be part of helping fight cancer and raise that money. So congratulations on that initiative.
Thank you.
There is just one, I know we've kind of covered a lot of ground already today, but there is one other really important area that I do want to talk to you about. And, you know, when you and I first met, which was literally 2 nights ago, we were having a conversation about leadership roles in the fitness industry, and specifically your support and I guess encouragement of bringing more women into leadership roles within the industry. And I can't remember what the statistic is, but I know that you were saying to me that since you've come into the company, you've really kind of encouraged more women into those roles, and that there's been quite a transformation at InShape as far as management roles and representation of women in those roles. So can you tell me, first of all, why is it so important for you, and why is it so important for us to have more women in leadership and management roles? And what's your view on that? What do you want to see in the future?
Well, the reason it's so important is I always think about you need to reflect your member base. And 50% of the world is female. And so if you are trying to create a community where people feel like they belong and they're comfortable working out and they come in and they don't see anybody that looks and feels like them, they're very likely to either not even join or not keep coming back. And I believe strongly every brand should think about who is their member or customer base and make sure that their team reflects that. So a couple things, for me, it's definitely about women, but it's also about all ages, all sizes, all fitness levels. So we want to make sure that when people come into our clubs, they can find themselves not only in the club with other members, but with our team. So a couple things that we do to really encourage that is all of our marketing, we just use internal team members or members. So it is really who we are. There is when you're joining InShape, you see a digital ad, hear a radio commercial, it's like our head of construction did the radio ads. Our area manager in Stockton did them in Spanish for us. All our imagery is our team. But from a leadership standpoint, fitness is an industry of passion and it's a people industry. And for me, what success looks like is having incredibly strong leaders across all ages and definitely male and female who can take that passion and build a really strong career at it and still have the impact they want on the community. And I think this industry has sadly probably been more male focused historically. And my goal is to make sure that we are balanced. I want great leaders, male or female, old or young, and whatever we can do to really encourage people to try it as a career and then give them the training to be successful. Training's been a huge investment for us, so we're really focused on that as well.
Congratulations on what you've done in that area, and I loved the example that you gave of actually having people within the business that reflect your members. I think a lot of the time we don't think about that when we're actually hiring people and when we're looking at what our staff profile looks like, but it's such a great perspective to take, is to put ourselves in the shoes of our members and how am I going to feel when I walk in the door? Is there going to be someone that I can relate to and that I feel comfortable talking to? Because sometimes I think we forget that it can be such an intimidating journey for someone to walk into our facility for the very first time. So
absolutely.
Such a great point. Thank you, Francesca. Now, obviously, we're here at MotionSoft. We've been talking a lot about technology, and you're a passionate learner. I'm a passionate learner, and I think it's really important that we always make sure that we're staying up to date with industry trends and information. When it comes to a technology standpoint, are there any resources or ways that you would recommend that we can stay up to date on technology?
Yeah, it's a great question. The way I think about it is we should always be thinking about what consumer challenge or problem or opportunity do we need to solve and who's doing that in a creative way using technology. It shouldn't start with, let me go research all the technology out there. So a couple great examples that I've been recently looking at. Amazon just launched Amazon Go, which is their grocery store where you can basically do everything on your phone. What problem are they solving? No lines at the cashier. Like, how awesome is that? I'm like, what could we learn from that? That's a really good example. Westin Hotels, I think, is doing an amazing job around trying to make it easy to stay healthy and fit when you're on the road. They'll even loan you workout clothes. I'm like, what can I learn from that? Are they using technology? Gap just launched a dressing room that allows you to try clothes on virtually. So that's the biggest challenge when you order online. You're like, is it going to fit? Now they're solving that problem. So for me, it's always about thinking about what are the challenges that our members may have. Back to my point around friction, what are the friction points to being successful at being healthy? And how can we solve that? And who's solving it in other ways? And what can we learn from that? I have no shame knocking off an idea from another category. It's like, wow, that's a good idea. I'm going to do that too. So that's really, for us, it's about always visiting. We have 4 core behaviors. One of them is be curious. And so we'll take teams and go visit grocery stores and visit retailers and visit hotels. And what did we learn? What did we see? What could we apply to what we do? And sometimes it's a technology solution and sometimes it's not. But we always start with what's the consumer opportunity that we're trying to solve.
I read out in your bio earlier that you've got a background sort of outside the fitness industry. You've come from a diverse range of different organizations, and I really love the fact that you embrace that learning from outside the industry, because so often we kind of silo ourselves a little bit and we kind of look at what other gym owners are doing. But you can learn so much, as you've just given us those great examples. You can learn so much from outside the industry.
Absolutely. I think you can learn more, in my opinion, often, because we all get tunnel vision when we're in our own, day-to-day job. So the more you can look outside, the more I think it can give you inspiration for something new.
As a leader of the business, do you attend outside of industry conferences?
So conferences are always one of those things that in my mind, I'd love to go to as many as I can, but I have a day job. So I try to balance it with attending a few where I can. But a lot of it's also just about staying super engaged in things like TED Talks or meeting with other people. I have lots of obviously great friends who are leaders in other categories. So just taking the time to be like, what are you guys working on? I have this problem. How do you solve it? So it's a combination of both. I think talking to other people, there's no replacement for that. And sometimes you can't carve out 3 days to go to a conference, but you can pick up the phone and call someone. I just really encourage everyone to do that.
That is great advice. Francesca, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been such a pleasure chatting to you. Thanks for talking to us about the InShape promotion. I think it's a great one for everyone to go back and have a look at what they're doing as far as their rewards and their loyalties are concerned. And I might just remind everyone what you said about it is so important that we just make it simple.
Absolutely.
We don't need to overcomplicate a loyalty promotion. Make it simple, and that's where you get the success from it. Thank you so much for talking to us about learning and about leadership, and just thank you for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Join fitness industry peers from around the globe at the 6th Annual MotionSoft Technology Summit in Washington, D.C. You'll learn how the most successful operators in the fitness industry have implemented technology solutions and tools to improve operations, increase productivity, and exceed member expectations. Visit MotionSoftTechnologySummit.com today to register for the 2019 MotionSoft Technology Summit. A big thank you for joining me for the MotionSoft Technology series. A reminder that you can find show notes and contact details for Francesca and InShape Health Clubs all at fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. On that very same page, you will also find a direct link to the 2019 MotionSoft Technology Summit website. I look forward to seeing you for the next episode, and remember, what you leave behind is not what's engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others.